A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to Super Foam Flying. And today's pick of Super Foam Flying is something a bit special by any means. One, of course, that has in fact been able to come across in recent times. I'm specifically talking about the largest of the Dino Squad series, the Rex Rampage. Yeah, uniquely just takes away the name Rampage from the Elite Blaster, which came out 9 years prior. So at this point, I don't even know at this point. It almost feels like I shouldn't even pick a fight with this. But, hold on, because this is not just any ordinary Dino Squad blaster. This is in fact a clip-fed blaster. But, in addition to that, it also is a motorized blaster. And so I feel like that, in addition to being a clip system blaster, it also needs to have its own set of flywheels as a way to kick it into hard gear, pretty much. It also utilizes dart storage in the back of the stock, a permanent scope attachment that you can't remove, which is pretty much the same as a lot of blasters. They have permanent attachments. I mean, Nerf's just being a bit lazy at this point. And then, of course, you have the sort of T-Rex-esque appearance to it. The impressive sort of jaws with teeth sort of look on it that really do complement the sort of nice feeling that the muzzle really gives us. When I do put this in my hands like so, you can pretty much tell it's not necessarily a hard one to hold on to all the time, but I really do feel that, as I've mentioned before with a few other blasters, this might have to change. If I'm going to have an optimal sort of blaster out there, one that is certainly fit for my own stature, then I would have to have a longer stock. One, of course, that can comfortably allow me to hold on to this without having any issue. But, of course, we're going to move on from that, because simply put, the usage of this 10-dart banana clip that we have here sure is quite a breeze to both put in and take out like so. That's probably what we should expect from the majority of motorized blasters that have banana clips on them. I'm of course looking at other blasters I got, like the pulverizer up here. Yeah, I'm still wanting to talk a bit like that, but in any case, I almost feel like it probably is comparable to the pulverizer or demolisher, as this is in fact a reskin of that. But the Rex Rampage does have itself that sort of audacity, that near feel that really reminds me of it. But of course, we also cannot forget the handguard, one that does in fact allow protection from the banana clip, as if it's ultimately necessary, because with a lot of other motorized blasters that we got, including the Strife, including the Ultra 13 up here, and with a handful of others. The pulverizer even doesn't have its own handguard, pretty much. One that is situated right before the magwell. So it almost leads me to wonder that at the same time that Nerf is putting in permanent attachments, if this is supposed to be a growing trend of theirs. So, permanent attachments, newer looks, bolder lines, and then of course, handguards. Lots and lots and lots of handguards. I don't know what else to say about that at this point, but in any case, I do consider the Rex Rampage to be a pretty good blaster. It's got good motorized action, and it does seem to have some pretty good performance by any means. I'm ultimately shooting at a wall that's nearly 12 feet away from me, but even then I could still feel that this blaster certainly will not let me down by any means, no matter what this might be. I will say though, at least for maybe a $40 price tag that you might be able to get if you were to go to maybe a Target or a Walmart, any of the usual that you might be able to get, that is of course if anything is open by this point, then you probably could pull it off successfully. So in any case, the Rex Rampage gets a lot of points, mainly for it having the likeness of a T-Rex, a scope which just adds a bit more to the aesthetic, dart storage in the back which can fit up to 10 extra darts, and then you have a banana clip pretty much. And I'm not necessarily wanting to go off on the bat by giving a lot of cons to this one, including the fact that the scope is non-detachable, and the ergonomics probably needs some change in order for it to be optimal to my likeness. And of course, we also can't forget about the handguard pretty much. I mean, we got tons of motorized blasters out there that have banana clips or just clip wells in general, yet they don't even have their own sort of handguard. So I feel like that would probably have to be one of a few changes I'd give out to them to let them know that if they want it to be the best blaster ever, then a lot of things would have to be changed. So I'm not really going to go too far on that part, but anyways, that's pretty much it for right now. But of course, let's just say that aside from the original trilogy that the Dino Squad series started with in 2021, there have since become a bit of a bigger series. And I tell you what, there's several other blasters out there that have been released since then. I'm going to be talking about them pretty soon, so do be sure to stick around on the channel for that. And if you want to see more, go down to my channel, then make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.